निमीलितात्मन् निशिसुप्तशक्तिषु सवैकिलायं पुरुषः पुरातनो य एकासीदविशेषात्मनि अग्रे गुणेभ्यो जगदात्मनीश्वरे निमीलितात्मन् निशिसुप्तशक्तिषु सवैकिलायं पुरुषः पुरातनो य एकासीदविशेषात्मनि अग्रे गुणेभ्यो जगदात्मनीश्वरे निमीलितात्मन् निशिसुप्तशक्तिषु सवैकिलायं पुरुषः पुरातनो य एकासीदविशेषात्मनि अग्रे गुणेभ्यो जगदात्मनीश्वरे निमीलितात्मन् निशिसुप्तशक्तिषु He, Krishna. Why? As I remember, Kila, definitely. I am this Purushaha, personality of Godhead. Puratanaha, the original. Yaha, who? Ekaha, only one. Asi, existed. Avisheshaha, materially unmanifested. Atmani, own self. Agre, before creation. Gunebhyaha, of the modes of nature. Jagadatmani, unto the super soul. Ishvare, unto the supreme Lord. Nimilita, merged into Atman, the living entity. Nishisukta. Translation. They said, here he is, the original personality of Godhead, as we definitely remember him. He alone existed before the manifested creation of the modes of nature, and in him only, because he is the Supreme Lord, all living beings merge as if sleeping at night, their energy is suspended. Kindly repeat. They said, the original person. Prabhupada ki jai. There are two types of dissolution of the manifested cosmos. At the end of every 4,320,000,000 solar years, when Brahma, the lord of one particular universe, goes to sleep, there is one annihilation. And at the end of Lord Brahma's life, which takes place at the end of Brahma's 100 years of age, in our calculation at the end of 8,640,000,000 into 30 into 12 into 100 solar years, there is complete annihilation of the entire universe. And in both the periods, both the material energy called the Mahat Tattva and the marginal energy called Jiva Tattva merge in the person of the Supreme Lord. The living beings remain asleep within the body of the Lord until there is another creation of the material world, and that is the way of the creation, maintenance, and annihilation of the material manifestation. The material creation is affected by the interaction of the three modes of material nature set in action by the Lord, and therefore it is said here that the Lord existed before the modes of material nature were set in motion. In the Shruti Mantra, it is said that only Vishnu, the Supreme Lord, existed before the creation, and there was no Brahma, Shiva, or other demigods. Vishnu means the Mahavishnu who is lying on the causal ocean. By his breathing only, all the universes are generated in seeds and gradually develop into gigantic forms with innumerable planets within each and every universe. The seeds of universes develop into gigantic forms in the way seeds of a banyan tree develop into numberless banyan trees. This Mahavishnu is the plenary portion of the Lord Krishna, Lord Sri Krishna, who is mentioned in the Brahma Samhita as follows. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the original personality of Godhead Govinda, whose plenary portion is the Mahavishnu. All the Brahmas, the head of the universes, live only for the period of his exiling, after the universes are generated from the pores of his transcendental body. Brahma Samhita 5.58. Thus, Govinda or Lord Krishna is the cause of Mahavishnu also. The ladies talking about this Vedic truth must have heard it from authoritative sources. An authoritative source is the only means of knowing about transcendental subject matter, definitely. There is no alternative. The merging of the living beings into the body of Mahavishnu takes place automatically at the end of Brahma's 100 years. But that does not mean that the individual living being loses his identity. The identity is there, and as soon as there is another creation by the supreme will of the Lord, all the sleeping inactive living beings are again let loose to begin their activities in the continuation of past different spheres of life. It is called Suptottita Nyaya, or awakening from sleep and again engaging in one's respective continuous duty. When a man is asleep at night, he forgets himself, what he is, what his duty is, and everything of his waking state. But as soon as he awakens from slumber, he remembers all that he has to do and thus engages himself again in his prescribed activities. The living beings also remain merged in the body of Mahavishnu during the period of annihilation. But as soon as there is another creation, they arise to take up their unfinished work. This is also confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 8.18 to 20. The Lord existed therefore before the creative energy was set in action. The Lord is not a product of the material energy. His body is completely spiritual, and there is no difference between his body and himself. Before creation, the Lord remained in his abode, which is absolute and one. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimiraandasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitamena Tasmai Shri Guruven Namaha. Nama Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Devi Gaurvani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarne जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So the ladies of the Hastinapur climbing on the roofs of all the houses of Hastinapur, being absorbed in the transcendental qualities of the Lord, they started to talk of the Lord. And what they talk was mentioned here as the glorification, as in the glorification of the Lord, they started speaking to each other. By seeing the Lord, they started speaking to each other that here He is, the original personality of Godhead. Savaikilayam Purusha Puratano. Puratano, the original personality of Godhead. And He alone existed before the manifested creation of the modes of nature, and in Him only, because He is the Supreme Lord, all living beings merge as if sleeping at night, their energy is suspended. And how they know about this, about the supremacy of the Lord, about the existence of the Lord before creation. They say, as we definitely remember. And so Prabhupada says in the purport, the ladies talking about this Vedic truth must have heard it from authoritative sources. They must have heard from it from the authoritative sources. And an authoritative source is the only means of knowing about transcendental subject matter, definitely. Definitely means with sure, without any doubt. Only an authoritative source can give us the definite knowledge. And there is no alternative. So, whatever they heard was authoritative knowledge. And that knowledge was definite. Like in the modern age, if you ask about the creation, the scientists say that the creation happened is a chance. And they state about the Big Bang theory. It was all a chance. There was a Big Bang, and of the collision, the creation happened. And those who accept this scientist as the authority, they will believe it. And those who accept the Vedas as the authority, they believe that the Lord is the creation. The Lord is the creator of the entire universe. Those who accept the scriptures, like even in the Bible, if you see, they also state that God created humans by the dust. And the same thing is said in the Quran also about the creation of human being, that the God created humans out of clay. So in any religion, Prabhupada says religion means it teaches us how to love God. Religion means it teaches us how to love God. And in any religion you take, it describes that God created the universe. But those who do not have faith in those religious scriptures, they accept knowledge of their something created by some person, or they accept knowledge of their opinion, which is not true. Like we see that now the Kumbh Mela is happening, and there are many Naga sadhus who come to the Kumbh Mela to attend the Kumbh Mela. And recently, during my visit to Kumbh Mela, I used to see people were so much admiring about this Naga sadhus. Of course, the Naga sadhus, they come during this time and they will disappear. They say they will go back to the caves of the Himalayas and they stay there, and it is not possible for anyone to have a look also about them. And of course, they do a lot of tapasya, a lot of austerities to attain some process of salvation or whatever they are aspiring for. But as per the scriptural knowledge, as per the Bhagavad Gita, what Krishna says, that is not the ultimate end of process what they are following. It is also one of the process. It is also one of the process, but not the ultimate one. Ultimate is to understand about our own existence as we are part and parcel of Krishna. We are souls, spirit souls, part and parcel of Krishna, and to serve Krishna is the ultimate goal of life. To perform devotional service unto the Lord is the ultimate goal. It is the ultimate knowledge. And anything less than that is not the ultimate one. But at least they are not atheists who think that creation happened because of a big bang. They are better than the atheists who think that creation happened out of a big bang. And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter, 48th shloka, Agnascha Shraddhadanascha Samshayatma Vinashyati Nayam Loko Nasti Naparo Nasukam Samshayatmanaha. Agnas, who is ignorant, Ashraddhadanascha, and who is faithless. Ignorant and faithless person who doubt the revealed scriptures, Samshayatma, who is having full of doubt about revealed scriptures. What is his destination? Vinashyati. Ignorant and faithless person who doubt the revealed scriptures do not attain God consciousness. Nayam lokasti naparo. For the doubting soul, there is happiness neither in this world nor in the next. Nasukam samshayatmanaha. For a doubting soul, nasukam samshayatmana. Where? Neither in this world or in any other world. Nayam loko asti naparo. Neither in this world nor in the next. There is no happiness for such a doubting soul. Doubting about the revealed scriptures, doubting about the statements of the Lord, doubting about the instructions of the Lord,
authoritative scriptures, for such a person there is no happiness. On the other hand, whenever Krishna describes, especially in the 4th chapter, when Krishna first speaks about the transcendental knowledge, Shri Shri Radha Govind ki jai. When Krishna speaks about transcendental knowledge about his own self, as Ajopisan Navyayatma Bhutanam Ishwaropisan, and also he describes about all the sacrifices, acts of sacrifices that can be performed. Krishna at the end describes about faithless and faithful person, destination of faithless and faithful person. And that's where Krishna speaks about this, that a person who does not have faith in the scriptures neither have happiness in this world nor in the next. On the other hand, when Krishna speaks in the 7th chapter, knowledge of the absolute truth, Krishna wanted to describe about how one can know Krishna, who can know Krishna and who cannot know Krishna, the absolute truth. Before speaking about this knowledge, Krishna first speaks, Maya Asakta Manapartha Yogam Yunjan Madashraya Asamshayam Samagram Mam Yatagnasya Tachrunu. Krishna, the first verse of this chapter, Krishna says, Asamshayam Samagram Mam Yatagnasya Tachrunu. Two things here is, Asamshayam, do not have any doubt in whatever I speak. Do not have any doubt in the knowledge that I am giving to you. What is that knowledge? With mind attached to me and consciousness, practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, you can know me in full. And of this there is no doubt. Be free from doubt. So, why Krishna says here, Asamshayam, do not have any doubt? What is the reason for Krishna to make that statement, Asamshayam? Because Krishna is the supreme authority. And he says, whatever I am speaking, I am the supreme authority. So whatever I speaking, I am telling you, whatever instruction I am giving you, whatever knowledge I am giving you, there is no need to be doubt about the supremacy, about the authoritative. Because I am the authority, supreme authority. So whatever knowledge I am giving, there is no need to be doubt. There is no need to doubt on that knowledge. And after this verse, Krishna also speaks about how Matta Parataram Nanyat Kinchidasti Dhananjay. He speaks about different energies, and also he speaks that there is nothing superior to me. There exists nothing superior to me. So people, many would have heard this verse, many would have recited this verse, but they will not have faith that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Well, Krishna himself is telling, there is nothing superior to me. But unless and until one have faith in the words of the Lord, one cannot accept this fact. So that's why Krishna initially only says that don't doubt, asamshayam. Without any doubt, hear to what I say. And similarly, in the 8th chapter, again Krishna says, Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yudhyacha mayarpita mano buddhir mam evashyasi asamshayaha. Therefore, Arjuna, you should always think of me in the form of Krishna and at the same time carry out your prescribed duty of fighting. With your activities dedicated to me and your mind and intelligence fixed on me, you will attain me without doubt. Here also Krishna says, you perform this. What is it? Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu. All the time. Ma manusmare vidyacha. You fight, perform your prescribed duty all the time. Arjuna's prescribed duty was to fight as a Kshatriya. But what is the method of fighting? Ma manuspara. By always thinking of me. You should always think of me in the form of Krishna and at the same time carry out your prescribed duty of fighting. My arpita manobuddhir, with your activities dedicated to me and your mind and intelligence fixed on me. My arpita manobuddhi. Mind and buddhi, mana and buddhi should be offered to the Lord. My arpita manobuddhir, mam eveshyasya samshayaha. You will attain me without doubt. Here also Krishna says, asamshayaha. There is no doubt about this. Means, if we perform our activities, always thinking of the Lord. Dedicating our activities, dedicating our mind, dedicating our intelligence to the Lord. If we perform our activities in this way, we will attain Krishna. And there is no doubt about this. Because again here Krishna says, don't doubt because I am the supreme authority. Whatever I say, it's a must, it will act. You just perform it without doubt and you will attain me. So, in this way Krishna many places speaks about, there are a few more verses where Krishna speaks that no need to doubt, asamshayam. But at the end, Krishna in the 18th chapter, again Krishna says, Ya idam paramam guyam mad bhakteshu abhidyasati bhaktim mayi param krutva mam eveshyati asamshayaha. For one who explains the supreme secret to the devotees, devotional service is guaranteed. And at the end, he will come back to me. Here also Krishna says, asamshayaha. There is no need to doubt about this. So, whatever devotional service we are performing, it's based on the authoritative statements of the Lord, which we got through the Parampara system, through Prabhupada. So, that devotional service, whatever we perform, we should not have any doubt in performing the devotional service. At any time, we should not get the doubt. I am performing this devotional service. Will it really work? Will I really go back to home, back to Godhead? We should not have that doubt. We should not get the doubt at any point of our life. Devotional service is with faith. Here Krishna, that's why Ashraddha Dana Purusha. Those who do not have Shraddha, they cannot attain. But those who have faith, they can clearly attain me. So, we should go on performing our bhakti with full faith and devotion. And that faith and devotion, also Krishna says, with full determination, one should perform. Vyavasayatmika buddhi ekena kurunandana. This is the only path that can take us out of the cycle of birth and death. This is the only path. If you think that there are many other paths, then again, the Shraddha is lost. So, Shraddha is the most important factor in devotional service. And that Shraddha should be without any doubt. So, in the same way, the ladies of the Hastinapur, They went on the rooftop and they're speaking about the Lord, glorification of the Lord. And those glorification were what they heard from the authoritative statements. They had heard it from the authoritative statements, and they were speaking with their thoughts fully absorbed in the transcendental qualities of the Lord. Their thoughts were fully absorbed in the transcendental qualities of the Lord. They were speaking on the authoritative basis, and whatever they spoke was more pleasing than the hymns of the Vedas, as described in the previous verse. It was more pleasing, it was more sublime, and it was more attractive than the hymns of the Vedas. So, transcendental knowledge, if we speak on our own, then that is not transcendental knowledge. Even in our preaching activities, Prabhupada just says, just repeat whatever is written in the books. Because that is authoritative statements. Whatever written by Prabhupada is the authoritative statements. If you just repeat whatever Prabhupada has written in the books, that is more effective than we think of something of our own and try to explain it in our own method. So, authoritative statements should not be manufactured, cannot be manufactured also. Authoritative statements, we should receive it from the authorities. So, the Lord existed before the creative energy was set in action. The Lord is not a product of material energy. His body is completely spiritual, and there is no difference between his body and himself. Before creation, the Lord remained in his abode, which is absolute and one. So, these things about the Lord cannot be manufactured. Only the devotees realized about the existence of the Lord can speak about this. Without realization, one cannot speak about all these things. Because when a person receives this knowledge and practices this, he can also attain to that realization, if it is authoritative. If the knowledge is not authoritative, one cannot realize it. It will be shramayeva kevalam. It will be wastefully performing those acts without any results. So, an authoritative source is the only means of knowing about transcendental subject matter, definitely, and there is no alternative. So, this is the means of attaining transcendental knowledge. This is the means of attaining to the ultimate goal of life, to go back home, back to Godhead, to practice bhakti. The only means is to receive knowledge from the authoritative source. And that is the way the ladies of this Hastinapur, they were able to glorify the Lord, they were able to keep the Lord in the heart, because they had not manufactured something of their own. They were following the authorities. This is what we can learn from this verse. Any questions? We'll stop here. Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada.